There they are.
There we are.
Yo.
The fans are waiting.
Showtime. We got our first book signing at Barnes & Noble. Pretty big. Pretty big. Let's go. Happy you're here.
Me too.
Yeah.
So let's make a decision. I'm not kissing you because you're sick.
Mwah. Hey,
But otherwise, I'd be giving you big hugs.
Pleasure to meet you.
Lonnie.
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet you.
So let's make a decision before we go in so we can make the pivot, okay? So here's the story. They don't have chairs and the microphones are not working. So you can make a choice. It's a small group that's in front. I don't think you really need the microphone. Or we can pivot right now and just say we're going to go right to a book signing.
Well, let's get in front of the people, see how
They are okay. And I'm
They're
being
hungry to meet you.
And I'm being very strict. Like I've said, you can take a picture facing
That's
him,
terrible.
but you
I would
can't.
have brought an amp.
She just told me. You know.
Awesome.
Hey, my sister Donna.
How you doing?
Hi. So nice to meet you.
Hey!
I didn't get that.
God, it's good to see you.
All right, let's get you in.
How you doing?
All right, Adam.
Really? Great.
No more socializing.
Well, that's sis.
I know.
That's not socializing. That's love and respect.
Dion, you have a second, 1 second? 1 second. Take a picture of these two. They're my best friends.
I swear.
I'm ready!
Oh, dude, thanks for coming.
We're not taking pictures tonight. Let's do it. You can do it real quick. We're not taking pictures.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, I love you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, good luck. Thank you.
Go with him.
Adam, what's up?
Hey, buddy.
Give me my hug.
Hey, he came. What's up, pal? I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You guys are right up front. Go do it. Go have fun.
Hey, pal. How you doing? I'm good. Good. It's so good to see you.
All right, you too, man.
I'm sorry. Don't worry about it.
Take her with you.
Take her with you.
I know. No.
How we doing? How we doing?
Oh,
But for you,
that's terrible.
It's a great shirt.
and your book is great. Look who it honors.
You know,
It's a great
I
shirt.
wish we had microphones. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
What?
As long as nobody's talking.
We'll tell
Okay.
everybody else what you
Well,
said.
this is Adam.
Yo. Nice to meet everybody.
And we're best friends. And this guy, I met him at St. Joan of Arc when he was 12 years old.
Really?
I wanted
Yeah.
to do a little concert for the kids. And he was their precocious kid, you know. And then 30 years later, I don't know when you know.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't
20 years later.
You know, we're in recovery together, right? I've been clean and sober 57 years.
Yeah, that's it.
Adam's been clean and sober 18 years.
Very good.
So we've been having lunches, you know, go to meetings, have lunches, and we talk a lot and we tell ourselves stories. And you know, no matter what he tells you, it's a lot of BS because I learn as much from him as probably he does from me. But one day at these lunches, he said, Dion, he said, these stories are so interesting. I wish everybody was here to hear them. You know, my family, my kids, my friends, my coworkers, my you know, just my family, you know. And Adam was the lace king. He was running a lace manufacturing company, the largest lace manufacturing company on the face of the planet. When I walked into his lace factory, there was a football field. It looked like to me a football field of machinery. And he took out a picture of me. He said, "Watch this." Shoved it in one of the machines, and it came out lace. My face. My face came
Leather
out
and lace.
so dainty I looked. I looked dainty. But anyway, so he was managing that company and owned it. Owned the building. 400 and what do you have? You know, how many employees?
220.
220 employees. And you were doing that for 24 years.
Yeah.
So he knows a lot. So I'm learning a lot from him, right? He's gonna. It sounds like he learns a lot from me, but you know. But anyway, so we have kind of like a David and Jonathan bond here, you know, like a real biblical bond between us, because his grandparents, or his great-grandfather and grandfather, were like very holy men. He gave me these heirloom Bibles when we went out for lunch. So we have an interesting friendship. We're always talking about God and family and just all these distinctions that you make in life. Like one distinction is like love. Like I come from the Bronx. Nobody defines what love is. I thought it was a feeling. I didn't know it was an action. It was an act of your will. You choose to love somebody. You know, somebody come in and say, "I don't love her anymore. I'm getting divorced." Well, then love her. It's a decision. And once you love the person, you feel good. You know, but you know. So some men just grow old. They don't grow up, like myself in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? So we're all like that, you know. But like distinctions like authority and responsibility. Some people have kids, they do anything they want, and you're responsible. No, it doesn't work like that. You want to go to Washington and chain yourself to the fence? Hey, who brought you there? Who took you there? Who'd you follow? I followed Terry Stewart. Well, then ask him to get you out of jail. Don't call him. You know what I mean? If you have the authority, you should have the responsibility. Or if you have the responsibility, make sure you have the authority. I learned that from a manager I had when I was a kid. He had all the authority and I had all the responsibility. It's bad thing. So I could go on and on and on with distinctions. Like, this is a good one. I like this one. Don't ever confuse love with approval. If you confuse love with approval, you'll be seeking approval all your life. It's not love. I have 3 daughters. I tell them that. I say, "Sweetheart, you're not obligated to me in any way. You don't have to live up to my expectations. All I hope for you is when you have to make a decision, consult your mind, your heart, your conscience, your God, make the best decision possible. I'm happy with that, baby. You know, and I love you unconditionally. Has nothing to do with approval. I don't approve if someone's smoking. I don't if my kid is smoking, you know. I don't have to approve. God doesn't sign on every decision I make. He loves me unconditionally. And that's another good distinction. This blew me away. Is that, and I'm giving you an idea of the stories we talk about, but I never knew that God was love, period. He doesn't punish you. I didn't know this. I called Bishop Barron, I called Bishop Mike Smith, I called Ralph Martin, I called all the best theologians in the country, and I asked them, I said, "Is this true?" I didn't know. They said, "No. You're punished by your sins, not for them." I never heard that in the Bronx. I never heard that growing up. I said, "This guy left his wife with so much debt, he has another family. How does a guy like that how does a guy like that get punished? He says, well, a guy like that gets punished by being a guy like that. He's just, he just doesn't see. He's like blind. Anyway.
So I'm Adam Jablin. It's nice to meet everybody. I'm 18 years clean and sober, which I'm proud of. And I wouldn't be if it wasn't for Dion. And it wasn't for my relationship with God. And one of the things he taught me is always to have an outside reference to your life. An outside reference. Somebody that can show you where the landmines are, where the tripwire is, when to make a right, when to make a left. And who better than to have Dion as your mentor? So I got very blessed. But I wrote a few words because there are some things that I want to pass on about my mentor that many people know Dion, who is like my spiritual father, for the music. But this book lets you understand that he is Dion through and through. He's intrinsic. He's not somebody that when he goes out on stage, he's a different man than he is with us right now. He's always Dion, always. So I would like to read 4 excerpts from our book, from Paul Simon, Eric Clapton, Bob Dylan, and Bishop Barron, if I may. So Paul Simon said his deep understanding and hard-earned insights come in part from his Catholic upbringing and his experience with AA. Eric Clapton said he's a genius singer, writer, musician, and healer. He is also awake and full-grown into himself. He is the perfect example of how you can do what you love to do and still be available to the lives of others. I love that. Bob Dylan said, Dion is some kind of, we're going to have to, he's from the Bronx. Bob Dylan said, Dion is some kind of elder legend, a bluesman from another delta. And his mentor, Bishop Barron, said this, Dion places great stress upon the 4 principal temptations that the spiritual masters have identified as substitutes for God: wealth, pleasure, power, and honor. And he teaches us detachment from them so that we might attach ourselves to God alone. So guys, we are really thrilled to give you Dion, the rock and roll philosopher. I love you.
Yeah, we're glad you're here. I wish we had microphones and seats, man. We would have talked to you for an hour.
Oh, keep talking. It's great to watch your love thing, the two of you. It's so sweet.
Thank you.
Well, let me say something before. Those 4 great temptations, the 4 typical addictions that people replace God with are wealth, pleasure, power, and honor. Not that they're bad things. They're wonderful things. I mean, God has power. It's a good thing. But true freedom is when you're not choosing those. You let God shape your desire for those things. If you have God in your life, then it works. The money, the sex, drugs, rock and roll, the position. I want position. I want power. You could see the politicians the way they, or you could watch the New York Housewives. You see it all. Oh, I'm honest. You're not. Like that. Consult your mind, your heart, your conscience, your God. Make the best decision possible. I'm happy with that, baby. And I love you unconditionally. Has nothing to do with approval. I don't approve if someone's smoking. I don't if my kid is smoking. I don't have to approve. God doesn't sign on every decision I make. He loves me unconditionally, and that's another good distinction. This blew me away. Is that, and I'm giving you an idea of the stories we talk about, but I never knew that God was love. Period. He doesn't punish you. I didn't know this. I called Bishop Barron. I called Bishop Mike Smith. I called Ralph Martin. I called all the best theologians in the country, and I asked them. I said, "Is this true?" I didn't know. He said, no, you're punished by your sins, not for them. I never heard that in the Bronx. I never heard that growing up. I said, this guy left his wife with so much debt, he has another family. How does a guy like that get punished? He says, well, a guy like that gets punished by being a guy like that. He's just, he just doesn't see. He's like blind. Anyway.
When you have somebody that walked the walk before you, it's kind of like Jordan to Kobe. You know what I mean? Like
Runaround soon came on, and
you have
my world was
you have a template, you have a map, and it takes you from where you want to go to where you want to be that much faster.
fell deeper in love.
So-
I loved our first sight when she told me she
this
was
is an
a
honor.
fan.
Sounds like
This is an honor.
I'm pretty
Well, we just finished the book signing. This is the information that helped me become clean, sober, the coach I am today. So, if you're looking for help, please check the website, adamjablin.com, and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you soon.